Hi folks, so obviously if you're watching this video, you are interested in publishing a children's book, or self-publishing a children's book. Well, I'm going to give you a few steps on how you can get that to happen and how it's not going to cost you a mint. The pitfalls of publishing or self-publishing. One thing to avoid, I think anyway, it's my considered opinion, is vanity publishing. You're paying a lot of money, they don't market your book effectively, and you're basically paying for something that you could do yourself. So rather than forking out thousands of dollars, I'm going to tell you a way that you can publish your book for hundreds of dollars. It's not going to cost you a fortune, so you're not going to end up with a garage full of 1,800 books that you have to try and sell and market yourself, that will go mouldy and yellow in the corner of your garage because you can't sell them. This is the way to do it. This is going to be, especially if you're wanting to micro-publish a book and not have the disadvantage of having thousands of copies that you can't get rid of. Okay, so this is how to do it. Obviously, we need to talk about formatting a book, creating a book that is going to be allowing you to upload to one of the self-publishing sites that I'm going to talk about in a few seconds. I published my book via a site called createspace.com, and the format of the book was 8¼ inches by 8¼ inches. It was called City Zoo. I found that CreateSpace is a great product. It's a subsidiary of Amazon.com. So when you create your book via CreateSpace, you also get a free Amazon listing, and I think that's a distinct advantage. Obviously, you could go via another company like Lulu.com, who also do self-publishing on what's known as print-on-demand digital publishing. So print-on-demand is a way of publishing books that's, as the name implies, on demand. So you're not publishing and printing a massive number of books. You print them as you require them, and that is obviously an advantage because you don't end up with books that you can't sell. So I think it's quite possibly the way things will be done in the future as improvements are made, and as the quality comes closer and closer to offset lithography printing, which is the standard printing, I think you will find that this method is going to become a lot more popular. It's certainly very popular with textbooks where we're not sure how many are going to be sold. As you can see, they're full colour illustrations. It's a perfect bound book. It's 32 pages long. I think the quality is every bit as good as a lot of books I've seen out there. So it's definitely the way of the future. I think it's the only option you have as a self-publisher. Now we also have our Lulu version of the book. At the time Lulu was doing this, and to do Lulu justice, this is an old version of it. I think Lulu now is doing perfect bound books, and the quality is probably on a par. But at the time they were a stapled book, and I didn't like that as a quality issue. It sort of smacked of being not a proper book. So you'll probably find now that Lulu's actually upped the game, and you might want to look at them price-wise. You can get an Amazon listing if you're not publishing via CreateSpace, but I think you'd probably have to pay for it. So for my reckoning anyway, CreateSpace was the way to go. And then you just need to find a way of formatting your book, which we will discuss shortly. Okay, so we want to format a book to upload it to createspace.com, and I wanted to come up with a way that would allow anyone with a personal computer to do that. You obviously don't want to have to buy a lot of software, and you want to use means that are at your disposal. So what I did was thought to myself, what do I have on hand? And I had Publisher, and I had Microsoft Office and other programs like that, and that's what I used. I used Publisher. I'm pretty sure you could use Word as well, and I looked at the format that was required for CreateSpace. So you need to do your research. You need to get onto CreateSpace and look at how to do things. You can also go to the forums that are available on that site, but you need to get yourself used to the CreateSpace process. Get onto that website and learn how to do it. Do tutorials, do everything you need to do to learn how to do it, but it is doable and it's not that hard. So once you know the format and you format your book in Publisher, it needs to be uploaded as a PDF file. Now I could have gone off and got myself a PDF program but that's going to cost money. So what I did was I looked into how to find programs that would allow me to convert a publisher file into a PDF, and I got a program called Qt PDF Writer, and I used that program. It was free, and I also obviously needed to generate a barcode for the back of the book, and the barcode also was via a barcode generator, which was also free. So all of these things are doable online via free resources if you have the time and you want to make the effort. Now, when you publish your book via createspace.com, you don't need to purchase an ISBN number. They will give you an ISBN, which is a unique number that identifies your book. Now, that's a fine way of doing it. There's no problem with that. But if you want to list your book as being published by yourself or come up with a cute little name, I used the publishing name Kidzoo Publishing. I wanted to be able to use my own publishing name, not have my book listed as published by CreateSpace. It's kind of like almost like flagging your book as something that's been self-published, and there's a bit of a stigma attached to that. So if you want your book to look like it's been published by a publisher, I suggest that you purchase yourself an ISBN. You do it via Bowker link. I think you can buy one for $36, or if you want to buy like 10 of them, it's like $120 or something like that. It may have gone up, but it's not an expensive thing to do. And it means you've got ISBNs, and when people look at your book on Amazon rather than on the CreateSpace website, you'll actually look like you've actually been published rather than just self-published. So you make a little bit more money if you steer people to your CreateSpace website. There's more profit. But if people go to your Amazon site, you can actually look very much like just a normal book that would be purchased. So that is something to consider, purchasing an ISBN. Obviously, once you get your copy of your book, by law you're supposed to send one to the National Library in Canberra and the State Library in New South Wales, and I've done that, and it's not kind of nice because it means your book's in that library. And it's listed in that library, so that's something that real publishers do also, people that publish books. Now, obviously formatting a book, the easiest way to do anything is the monkey see, monkey do method, which I use a lot in life for everything. You want to know how to do something, look at how someone else has done it really well, and then copy them. So, on the front page here, there's obviously a lot of information that they put for a book, like, the author and the title and the edition and publisher information and the Dewey Decimal Code and all that sort of stuff. You can find all that information online. It's just a matter of looking it up. So you look at how another book has been formatted and you copy it. So it's all doable online, and I'd love to be able to tell you exactly how I did it. But I have forgotten. I certainly didn't list it all down. But if I can work it out, so can you. So you've got your ISBN, you've got your barcode generated. It's all been put on the cover file for your book. You've uploaded your book to CreateSpace, and this is when the fun begins, because this is when you have to start trying to sell your book. Okay, so in those previous clips I've discussed printing, getting your to uploaded to CreateSpace. I've discussed vanity publishing and the pitfalls of vanity publishing. I've discussed purchasing an ISBN number. I guess you're all wondering the cost. What is the cost? Well, like I said, you can buy a copy of this book. If you buy 30 or 40 of them, it's probably going to cost you, after the exchange rate US to Australian dollar, because I'm doing this video from Australia, you're probably going to pay about $5 or $6 a book. So it's a very affordable way of getting your book out there. I haven't sold a lot of books. It comes down to marketing, really. Once you've actually published the book, I have had my book out in the public domain via lightupyourbrain.com, and there's a link down the bottom. I know that for a fact, because if I put my book into Google, if I put in the city zoo, which are quite common words, and hit images, my book comes up. So it's been uploaded hundreds of thousands of times. It's being used on Learn to Speak English websites, and that's via Light Up Your Brain. And the gentleman that runs that site in Canada actually did a little, he's a professional voice person, so he's actually read the book on the site, done a little piano intro for it. So it's a great site, and it's got my book out there. So has it made me money? No. Has it made me happy to know that the book's out there and it's being used and enjoyed? For certain. It's if you're going to write it and just sit it in the bottom of your drawer, you've kind of wasted your time. So, but if you were going to market your book, what I would suggest is, rather than using it as a promotional tool, I would suggest you try and market your book yourself and sell your book. And then once sales have tailed off and you're starting to move on to your next project, you might then put it in the public domain via a website like that. Or if you're really clever and you really wanted to self-promote, you set up your own website and put advertising banners on it and make money via the book that way. Make it free, but drive traffic to the site, and then maybe promote your next print book via that avenue. So that would be a really good way of marketing your book and getting it out there. And obviously, local libraries, if you throw your book at a local library, they'll accept it, and they'll quite often ask you to come in and read your book and promote your book and sell your book. So they are all things you can do if you're not extremely lazy or time poor like me. But anyway, I hope that's helped. I'm going to put all the links down the bottom of this in the description of this video. I'm hoping that I've at least inspired you to go out and publish a book, because in the end, it's going to end up costing you about $500 or $600, which is not going to bust the bank. Go via a vanity publisher, end up with 1,800 or 500 or 600 or however many copies of your book sitting in your the corner of your room or the corner of your shed in the backyard. It's not a good way to go. This is the way to do it. If you're going to do it yourself, I honestly believe that. People will argue the quality is not as good. I think to myself, well, yes, that's probably true, but you still end up with a quality product that you don't have to be embarrassed about. So give it a go. CreateSpace or Lulu.com. Publish your book yourself. Use the stuff that you've got at hand, and make the dream come true. Publish a book, and once you've done that, go on the next book. So I'm hoping to finish another book probably in the next Christmas holidays. Very busy, unfortunately. I don't have time to do it any other time, but I think I'm going to go about it a little bit differently this time, and try and be a little bit more proactive in the marketing area. So I hope this has helped, and just do it. Give it a go. You won't regret it.